Sophie Cunningham has officially joined forces with Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. And let's just say, it's the team-up fans have been waiting for. Spicy Sophie isn't holding back, defending Clark from all the bullies, unlike the person the Fever traded away to get her. That's right, Melissa Smith's toxic attitude finally caught up with her. She's out. Gone. Packed up and shipped out like last season's bad decisions. From locker room drama to downright disrespect, Smith, alongside her favorite sidekick in pettiness, Dejanay Carrington, was stirring the pot like it was her job. Well, guess what? They've both been moved to Dallas. The question is, was this just karma doing its thing, or is there even more drama we haven't heard yet? Let's break it down. Sophie Cunningham has been vocal about wanting to play alongside Caitlin Clark for a while now. She's always respected Clark's game, admired her work ethic, and understood that when you've got a generational talent like Clark, you support her, not sabotage her. And now? That dream's a reality. Sophie is officially part of the Indiana Fever, and fans couldn't be happier. But here's what makes it even sweeter. The Fever didn't just add the right player, they got rid of the wrong one. Yep. Melissa Smith, the same player who couldn't even pretend to have Caitlin's back on the court, is gone. The same Smith who brought nothing but negative vibes, locker room tension, and a me-first attitude that dragged the team down like an anchor tied to a sinking ship. Sophie Cunningham isn't just a great player, she's the exact kind of teammate you want. She's passionate, team-oriented, and most importantly, she respects Caitlin Clark. She knows that Clark isn't just another player, she's the future of the WNBA, and smart players recognize that and adjust accordingly. Unlike Melissa Smith, who seemed more interested in passive-aggressive antics than actually playing basketball. Fans saw it. The organization saw it. And now? The Fever made the smartest move they could have made, cutting ties with Smith. Melissa Smith wasn't just a bad fit on the court, she was a toxic presence off of it. The energy she brought to the team was like a storm cloud hovering over practice sessions, games, and even the locker room. The chemistry was off when she was around, and no matter how much you try to spin it, that stuff matters. She didn't respect Caitlin Clark, and it showed in every lazy defensive effort, every eye roll, and every refusal to step up when it mattered. Melissa Smith is confused as to why Indiana Fever fans don't want her on their team. And it's really not that hard to understand, Melissa. Let me tell you why. We don't even need to take into account any of your social media outbursts. We don't need to take into account any of your sub-tweets. We don't need to take into account any of your drama-chasing antics off the court. We don't need to take into account your passive-aggressive ways. You're removing the Indiana Fever one day in your bio, adding them in the next day in your bio, tweeting other people's tweets. We don't even need to take into account all the unnecessary drama and garbage that you add to this team when it comes off the court. All we really need to do is sit back and watch you on the court. It's really not that hard of a concept to grasp. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham, she's been nothing but supportive. She's the type of player who lifts her teammates up, not drags them down. While Sophie's been vocal about admiring Clark's game, Melissa couldn't even fake interest. She wouldn't defend Clark, wouldn't act like a true teammate, and definitely didn't play like someone who wanted to win. Now the Fever are moving forward with a roster that actually makes sense. A team built around chemistry, respect, and winning. And as for Melissa Smith and Dejanay Carrington, well, let's just say they've got plenty of free time to reflect on where it all went wrong. The Indiana Fever finally woke up and realized what fans have been screaming all along. Melissa Smith was the problem. The energy was off, the chemistry was non-existent, and the vibe, pure negativity. But guess what? That's all in the past now because Sophie Cunningham has arrived, and she's exactly what this team needed. She's not just a tough, skilled player, she's a leader. She's the kind of teammate who lifts others up, brings fire to the court, and respects the game. The fact that she openly said she wanted to play with Caitlin Clark, and now she gets to. It's like the basketball gods finally did something right. Meanwhile, Melissa Smith's departure. Yeah, No tears here, no farewell tribute, no emotional goodbyes, just a collective sigh of relief from Fever fans. Let's be real, Smith wasn't doing the team any favors. She wasn't adding value on or off the court. Her body language, office, her effort, inconsistent. The way she treated Caitlin Clark during this social media stunt, straight up disrespectful. But here's where it gets exciting. Sophie Cunningham's arrival isn't just a roster change, it's the start of a new era. She brings respect. She brings hustle. She brings a winning mentality that was completely missing from Smith. The Fever didn't just make a trade. They made a statement. They said, "We're done with drama. We're here to win." And for Caitlin Clark, the fans, and the entire organization, this is a huge win. The team is finally building something special, and with Smith gone, the sky's the limit. Cunningham and Clark, that's a duo you can rally behind. No more locker room tension. No more bad vibes. Just pure basketball, played the right way. And as for NaLyssa Smith, well, her time with the Indiana Fever is over. And something tells me the team won't be sending her a "we miss you" card anytime soon. So NaLyssa Smith is now playing on the same team as DiJonai Carrington. For the first time since their Baylor days, they are playing on the same team. And even a couple of months ago, DiJonai was being asked about the potential of the two and play together, and she literally said, she's like, "Oh, that's not going to happen. Because Connecticut aren't going to," because I'm not leaving Connecticut, and Indiana aren't going to trade you. Turns out both of them got traded, and both of them got traded to this same team, the Dallas Wings. Speaking of Smith, let's talk about how fast she ran to update her bio after the trade. I mean, she didn't even let the ink dry on the paperwork before announcing her move to the Dallas Wings. And here's the plot twist. She's reuniting with her girlfriend, DiJonai Carrington, one of the most controversial players in the league. You might remember Carrington from her signature move last season, poking Caitlin Clark in the eye. Yep, because apparently when you can't outplay someone, you resort to playground tactics. Now, with both Smith and Carrington on the same roster, the Dallas Wings might want to invest in a full-time PR team because this duo isn't exactly known for keeping things drama-free. Smith struggled to find her place in Indiana. And Carrington, she's been making more headlines for her antics than her actual performances. This isn't just a basketball move, it's a recipe for disaster. The Wings didn't sign a dynamic duo. They signed a walking, talking reality show. Good luck with that, Dallas. You're going to need it. The Indiana Fever are thriving this offseason. They've gone from a playoff team to one with real championship potential. The Fever are laser-focused, moving forward without distractions, while Smith and Carrington are poised to bring nothing but headaches to the Dallas Wings. Let's be honest, Indiana fans are rejoicing. They finally got what they've been asking for. NaLyssa Smith is gone, and with her exit, the dark cloud of negativity that hung over the team has vanished. It's like the air is fresher, the vibes are better, and the locker room finally feels like a place where winning is the priority. Smith didn't just underperform on the court, she failed to show any loyalty to the fan base that once cheered her name. Remember when Carrington openly disrespected Fever supporters? Where was Smith then? Silent. Not a word. No defense of her team, no leadership, nothing. It was clear her connection to Indiana was surface level at best. The Fever deserved better, and now they've got it. So, anyway, NaLyssa Smith is joining her teammate and her girlfriend, DiJonai Carrington. Of course, DiJonai poked out the eyeball, damn near, of Caitlin Clark last year, the real architect behind this transformation. Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox, and Stephanie White. They've been cooking this offseason, making all the right moves to turn the Fever into legitimate contenders. Re-signing Kelsey Mitchell, one of the league's most electric scorers, was a no-brainer. But adding veteran superstar DeWanna Bonner, that's a game-changer. Bonner brings elite scoring, lockdown defense, and championship pedigree. Her leadership alone makes the Fever more dangerous than ever. And let's not forget about Natasha Howard. Bringing her back ensures Indiana's front court remains dominant, with a defensive anchor who knows what it takes to win. And let's not forget Sydney Colson, who is pure vibes off the court and a great backup for Clark whenever she's on the bench. With these additions, the Fever have gone from a team weighed down by players like Smith to a WNBA powerhouse. No more deadweight. No more players standing by while the organization and its fans get disrespected. The Fever now have players who fight for their city, their teammates, and their fans. Indiana fans no longer have to watch a player coast through games with zero passion. Instead, they've got a roster full of winners, players who appreciate the support, respect the game, and deliver results. The Fever are back, and stronger than ever. The future is bright, the championship window is wide open, and it all started by cutting ties with the weak links. Meanwhile, over in Dallas, NaLyssa Smith is already facing an uncertain future. She showed up thinking she'd be a key piece, but with the Wings stacking their roster, her role is fading faster than her impact in Indiana. She's on borrowed time, and honestly, the writing's on the wall. The Fever made moves that screamed, "We're done with mediocrity," and Smith's departure was the first step. She was never the elite player Indiana needed. No leadership, no defensive grit, just flashes of potential that never translated into consistent success. Dallas will figure it out soon enough. Smith isn't built for a team chasing greatness. But Indiana, they've got their eyes on the prize, and nothing's holding them back now. The Dallas Wings have already got a replacement. Literally. These Dallas Wings have already and have already signed a replacement for NaLyssa Smith. They signed Myisha Hines-Allen. And not only that, they're paying Myisha Hines-Allen nearly a max. The Indiana Fever have completely reinvented themselves, embracing a bold new identity by signing new free agents, but also keeping their core of Clark, Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull intact. This isn't the same struggling franchise from years past. This team is built for championship contention. The addition of DeWanna Bonner brings more than just veteran experience. She brings a winner's mentality that was desperately missing. Add in Natasha Howard's return, and you've got a defense that's tougher, grittier, and ready to dominate the paint. Every offseason move Indiana made wasn't just smart, it was strategic, crafted to turn the Fever into a powerhouse. Meanwhile, over in Dallas, NaLyssa Smith is already struggling to find her place. With a flood of new talent, she's quickly fading into the background, and it's only a matter of time before she's pushed out of the rotation entirely. This new-look Fever squad is poised to make serious waves in the WNBA, and Cunningham's here to put the Bullies in their place. Her three-point shooting stretches the floor, giving Clark the space she needs to work her magic. Defenses can't just collapse on Clark anymore, not when Cunningham's lurking on the perimeter, ready to drain threes. But most importantly, she's the enforcer that is ready, willing, and able to defend Clark, not afraid to rough it up when needed. Cunningham plays with a chip on her shoulder, and that fiery attitude is contagious. She's tough, resilient, and thrives on competition. The locker room feels different. The court feels different. This isn't just a rebuild, it's the start of something special. When you have a locker room full of players who genuinely support each other, it shows on the court. That kind of chemistry isn't just a nice bonus, it's the foundation of championship teams. As the season approaches, all eyes will be on Indiana. Clark's sophomore season will be under a microscope, but having a vocal, battle-tested teammate like Cunningham will help ease that pressure. The Fever aren't just looking to compete, they're looking to dominate. Bringing in Cunningham is another step in the right direction, solidifying Indiana's status as a legitimate threat. She's not just happy to be there, she's hungry to win. And when you combine that hunger with Clark's generational talent, you've got a recipe for something special. This team has been through its fair share of struggles, but those days are over. This is a new era, one defined by talent, leadership, and the kind of swagger that wins championships. The combination of youth, experience, and the undeniable star power of Caitlin Clark has created a buzz around Indiana like never before. The excitement is real, the potential is limitless, and the future of the Fever has never looked brighter.